Hello and welcome back. It's been a while. Welcome to the beginning of our sailing campaign I promised a long time ago. It is called the Witch King's Crystal, and we're using Dungeon World, but we are using a modified version for funsies. We're using D20s and the standard system to determine ability modifiers, and starting at level 5. It took so long because I was doing a lot of world building and getting everything set up in a lot of different places for a lot of different characters from a lot of different places. Doing a lot of world building, essentially. And yeah, it's been a lot of hard work. It's been very fun, but very hard at the same time. And as of tonight, we actually just did our first combat with this, sort of using the D20 and all of that. And the way I worked it out is instead of having the player characters, attack someone, and then if they roll a mixed success, they take a hit and they take the damage or whatever. I instead have the enemies take their own turn altogether, rather than just being at like slap-based combat that just sometimes you get hit back. So yeah, the enemies have their own turns. In combat, fails, full mixed successes, which is a 10 to 15 for them, is your normal damage or whatever it is that you're doing. 16 plus, you get an extra d6 if you're doing an attack of some kind or casting a spell that does damage of some kind. And then on a natural 20, they get full damage. So if it's a physical attack, you get full damage. Or a physical-based attack. And you also get the extra d6 of damage at maximum, so there's that. It's actually working out very well, and I look forward to the rest of the games and seeing what happens as we move on in this campaign and find out all of the secret things and what might be going on they don't know about. Enjoy. Because I read it, I'm reading it a second time. But this is the first time we're doing this.
Like the Saunders.
Everybody ready for the first time we're going to hear this?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right.
Let's do it.
The Sarabi booms as it sits in high summer of the year 303 of the 7th era. The Gawa plant trade is doing well, and empires slowly tighten a grasp around what they can take of the divided up Sarabi empire. In the dissolving of the empire and the chaos of others moving to take power in towns and on islands everywhere, the pirates found a home as well, with the town of Galway being a calling place to all interested in equal share. Many mysteries and legends lay in these waters, like the legend of Harsmith Kid and the Jolly Rolling Rover. I keep trying to say robber when I read that part. The legend of Harsmith Kid and the Jolly Rolling Rover, who sacked Dunfermline town single-handedly 9 years ago. Or the story of William Taylor, who was murdered by his lover after wandering off to do pirating and find other women. The rumors of treasures and stories spread, drawing more souls every day to the Sarabi to see what their fortunes might bring. Troublesome as it can be, the Sarabi in the last 40 years has become a beacon of freedom and opportunity to forge your own way through piracy or trade. Our story begins several miles off the coast on an early morning, with one trying, like many, to forge and discover his own freedom. So Colton, you got up pretty early this morning, trying to get to land. It's been probably about around a week since you kicked off from your last place, trying to find land again, somewhere else to land and explore and learn. It's still dark out. The sun hasn't quite come up yet. There's not quite any signs yet. What are you doing this morning?
Oh, as I get up from my cot in my little boat, have a look around, see if I can see anything. Make sure the sails are down, and then I don't know, just keep making my way forward as I have been for the last week.
Yeah, there seems to be a cool enough breeze coming in, taking you in the direction of west-ish. seems to be. It's kind of dark, so it's hard to tell. Not the ideal breeze. A warm air would be more beneficial, but it's pushing you slowly in the direction that you're trying to go. And as you're taking up the slack on one of the sails and trying to, haul in and get it settled and tied off, you hear the sound of like rushing water to the side, and it takes your boat and spins you around and around, and kind of sets you off your bearings a bit. In that moment, you begin to see the new dawn begin, the rising sun of a new morning beginning. First light. You now have your bearings again.
Part of the day.
As you begin to wonder if you'll see land soon, looking up, you spot a bird flying really high up in the air. A black silhouette due to the, sun just now coming up over the horizon, barely flashing. Just enough to see the light coming. Far but visible as you see and follow the large bird overhead, you begin to see a small dot on the horizon, really far away. As you sail on, the birds come and go. You see one go and pass on, and then you see another one come in from another direction, but all headed in the same direction, which means land. There's land somewhere close by. There has to be. Within a few miles, hopefully. So maybe you'll make landfall soon, hopefully. As you sail on, the birds come and go, and the small dot becomes a small circle as it draws nearer. You begin to see the outlines of tall spires.
Whoa.
They begin to form in view far off. And they draw near and become these tall, reaching towers slowly. And the wonder grows in your heart as you look to see what hoves into view. Just as it's about to be close enough to get a good look, a light seems to blind you, reflecting off of something. The sun's reflection on something on the docks, maybe. As a large flying bird passes over so big, it shakes the boat and turns it a bit and pulls you along in the vacuum behind it from the air pressure, rocketing you forward, while the boat's turning and tipping. As the boat drifts, you begin to rise up off the deck again, and that bright light no longer blinds you. But what you see is not a bird, and this is no mere city. The large flying machine lands on a faraway dock, as it is dwarfed by the excellence in brass carved out behind it. Towers rise up into the sky, circles and dots now in view being giant blue orbs, risen into the sky above towers, tinted in blue funnels descending from the sky above into them, pooling into the brass-wrapped crystalline blue orbs. The port city reaches back and sparkles in the dawn sun, bending wonderful shadows on the karst behind it. All the tall brass buildings, shadows on the karst. Lost it. I had it and I lost it. Bending wonderful shadows onto the karst behind all the tall brass buildings into a natural gate that leads into seemingly more massive structures, stretching far beyond into the heavens that they might just pierce it if they were taller. Welcome, everyone, to Escamil, the city of magic machines.
Gotta be the craziest city I've ever seen. Nothing at home will ever compare to this.
So,
What?
as you approach the dock, you, looking out, the dock begins to hove into view, and it's, bright brass. Everything seems to be wrapped in, like, brass or brass-colored metal. Would you like to do anything before, like, getting within range of the dock, of, like, actual visual range or anything happening? Is there anything specific you'd like to do?
I better make sure I set course for an actual dock and not accidentally run into the bay. I look around, see if there's anything out of place. Go and check my little cabin. Let's see. Okay. My little bags of spices. I'll take those with me. I could use those trade a case of wine. I'll grab 3 bottles. Those. Am I missing anything? I think everything should be fine. I blow up my little candle, shut my door, and I'm like, okay, let's set sail for this. And I steer my way into the docks.
So, as your little boat hoves into the dock area, it's kind of unclear where to go, because it's kind of like small channels, because it's like, well, where do I pull my ship up? Because you're used to docks, you pull up, and then you haul, somebody throws a rope out, you throw a rope to them, you haul the ship up to the dock very carefully. That's how it usually goes. But you don't see anyone waiting. You don't see any other ships at the edge of this dock. But you do see masts up, sticking out overhead inside the city. So it's like, somehow maybe you're supposed to get in there, which it seems a little dangerous because ships are a bit squirrely and they kind of do their own thing when it comes to small, minute changes in direction to try and get into an area like that. That's why they typically are hauled in rather than sailing themselves in, or they row. And as you're like scratching your head and beginning to wonder what, like, or maybe even entertain the idea of attempting to sail through that, you hear a sploosh. Something in front of the boat. No big splash, just like the sound of moving water and like something floating up to the top.
It scared me. What was that?
And you look over and it's this metal ball in front of the boat, with a, looks like something you can fold away and take off of the top of it. What do you do?
Oh gosh, this is too much for me. I touch it, just like.
As you're reaching out to touch it, everyone dies. As you're reaching out to touch it, you
No!
Just before your finger touches it, to the
You would.
heart attack alarm of someone like you that's not used to a city like this at all. Some of the little engravings on the outside, not like words or anything, just the filigree on it. It looks fancy. Everything's fancy here. It's so, like, it's so fancy and cool, and everything's just wrapped in brass and has like an aesthetic. They begin to illuminate just a very light blue glow, and you hear, take the little rope off the top of this. It just folds away, and then you tie it to the bowsprit or any kind of cleat or something on the front of your boat, and we'll tug you in.
Oh, thanks. Do I see the rope? Can I grab it?
Yeah, it looks like a little handle, and if you grab it, you pull it, and it like actually comes out as like a little, not like a big, dense, thick chain, but like a chain thick enough. And you see like 2 or 3 of them on the sides, so it looks like maybe it can tip and turn and come up in a specific way, depending on the weight of the ship, because as you tie it around something, as they say, you feel yourself tip backwards, and the boat begins to slowly move forward. And it's pulling you into one of the many little canals at the edge of the city, it's weird because it's not like a normal city with a coastline. It just sort of begins. There's no like dock area. There's a small gap between where the edge of the streets and stuff are to like some of the buildings, but not a huge one. There's some warehouses here and there, but it just sort of begins. It's like you're not in Escamil. You cross into a little canal. Now we're in Escamil. Okay. And it pulls you along, and sun's coming up now behind you. Nice cool breeze of the morning, the warm wind coming in behind it from the sun. And you are pulled, wibble wobble here and there, zigzag just a little bit. You've maybe gone 400 to 600 yards, not very far. And you come around a little curve, and you see a big metal wire thing, like a pole almost, pole rather than a wire. A big metal pole that goes across the little canal here. And it's kind of like, oh shit, we're going to hit that.
Oh god, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to repair my boat if I hit that.
And then as you're like grasping, panicking, like trying to get the rope off, it just like releases and then just disappears into the water, into the little buoy, and then it just drops down into the water and disappears as that metal pole begins to come towards you. And then as you're like, shit, just grabs the boat very gently and begins to pull you into a little docking spot, which you hadn't noticed because you were panicking. To your right, it's just kind of tucking you in, and then it stops. And that's it.
I fall to my knees. I'm just like, ah.
So it seems you were put in like some sort of maybe like a pedestrian little dock spot, because it's just like a flat spot next to your boat, and then there's like 2 sets of stairs that go up to a higher area above you. Do you disembark?
Make sure I got everything. All right, I think I'm ready to go. Hop off the boat.
So you disembark, and descending the stair, you see a guy. He's just kind of like in some nothing crazy like the city. He's wearing clothes, not brass plating, because that would be silly. But he descends the stair in very nice blue and some yellows here and there clothing, some leather bits. Looks like it's reinforced for doing work of some kind. He descends the dock and he says, hello. And who might you be?
My name is Jug. I just sailed in here.
I see. Are you a merchant? Are you here to sell wares and trade? If so, you require permits. We do not charge for docking in the city, but you must have proper permits for cargo you're taking from place to place. If not, there are heavy fines and possibility of your ship being seized. Are you carrying cargo? Or are you just pedestrian?
I have stuff I trade. I don't deal.
Is it for
where I'm from? We
trade?
don't deal in.
Or for
we
business?
don't. It's personal. We don't deal in money.
Worries.
Where I'm from.
Any of it illegal?
No, just some wine and some spices, sugar.
What kind of spices?
That ain't illegal, is it? I got some red spice. It makes food a little hot.
I see.
I got a bag of it. You want to look at it? I pull a little pouch from my side, and I open it a little, pull the string. It's just like it goes on food normally when you're cooking. But you can eat it just straight spice.
I see. I don't think I need any of that. Just making sure it's not drugs. You're free to go. No worries. No charge. We don't charge for docking here in the city. It is only that we require you to have your proper permits if you are a merchant. I'll be watching you. He's obviously fucking with you because you're small and outside and clearly overwhelmed by the sights.
Thank you, sir. I zip my little bag, put it back on my side.
And if the sight didn't surprise you before, now rising up over the top of the little stair set, rounding a building above you, which seems to basically go directly into just space. It's so tall to you. You around this building, and what lies before you, gentlemen, I'll direct you to your Discord direct message for our group, is all of that. It is a lot. You look around, and those flying machines, they have people on them. People are flying them. There's some of them that are huge, gigantic, and the sound that they make when they pass over, and they fly like birds. They don't fly necessarily like anything specific. Some of them fly like birds. Some of them look kind of like bats almost. Some of them have fins on top and 4 different wings, and they're all set up strangely and differently. Some of them are small and you see only 2 people. Some of them are long and kind of large and you see multiple people. Some of them look like they carry items. All different sizes. Some of them, you see one that's got it looks like dragonfly wings as it flies over. As it goes past flying, curving around another building. It is... For you, this is like time traveling. Like, this is... Like, you can't even... Your imagination couldn't go that far. There's no way. Like, what the fuck is this? What is all this? This is like a Japanese person going to France. It's like, what are you people? What is this fucking place?
This is giving me Treasure Planet vibes for some
It's
reason.
straight up like going from the little diner to Montress or to the spaceport. Like, it's just, what the fuck?
I have no idea what's happening.
Anyone after they leave Tatooine?
Yeah, it's...
What is going on?
You just are overwhelmed. It's episode 1 going from Naboo and Tatooine to Coruscant. It's just too much.
Exactly.
So what would you like to do now, Mr. Overwhelmed? One of the guards actually passes you and he says, "Welcome to Longport, sir. Good day."
Good day.
Another person passes you. "Good day, sir. How are you?" Hi. How are you?
Hi.
You're doing this just to mess with them now, aren't you?
Well, he knows why they're doing this.
I have a guess.
Another person. "Hello, friend. How are you? Oh, wow. Very neat." They keep walking on. He's gonna have to call a hotline.
I'll just
Oh
stand here for a
God.
second, just like, okay, all these people are saying good day. I'll wait for the next one. And then ask them what the local attractions are. Maybe I can get some good direction.
Somebody walks by. Well, hello there. How are you? I like you. Who are you?
Hi. You can call me Jug.
See, Jug, how are you?
I'm good. I'm new, as you could probably tell.
I can see that.
Is there any local attractions like tourists may find around here? I'm very curious. I need to try to get a grasp on this city.
Well, I'm going to have to ask you to turn 360 degrees. Okay? Once you've done
I
that,
spin in a circle.
there's your attraction. The whole thing pulls everybody in every year. It's insane. Now, for specific stuff, I suggest you go to Underport. That's where the cool stuff happens. That might
Sounds like
be
my kind of
right
place.
up your alley. I could see you're wearing armor. That might be the place for you. Find a job, maybe. See he's wearing like a suit. He's just clearly like robes and fancy dress. He's clearly like, adventure. That's what people in armor do, right? Yeah, something like that. He's giving you a specific location, though. He's telling you to go to Underport, whatever the fuck that is.
Could you give me a direction?
Oh, yeah,
Other than
well,
360 degrees.
Head this way, down the street, and then look for, you'll see a hole in the ground. It's like a tunnel that goes straight down into the ground. It's hard to miss. Make sense?
Yeah. All right. Thank you, sir.
Good day, little fella. Good day.
Good day.
He walks on with like a
Okay.
grin, kind of shakes his head. He's
I feel like I'm being made fun of, but Underport sounds kind of cool. I'm gonna head in the direction he told me to go.
as you explore for the next like 4 hours trying to figure out what the fuck he's talking about, we will pan
Where's
back
the
over.
fucking hole?
we'll pan over back to everyone else. So we started with Lex. You had gotten an invitation, and you're sitting sitting across from a man in this little bar that I had described. From the door, you have like the little support pole in the middle, but it's like offset. It's not in the middle of the room. It's not even in like a spot middled on the left side of the room. It's just like in this weird spot. And then about 6 feet this way, and then a wall that runs straight ahead of you. And then straight down this wall is all tables and booths and chairs. As the wall curves this way, more tables and booths and chairs, and a few scattered out in between. There's a decent gap between the wall and the bar. where the little bit shorter dwarf stands that I don't remember how I described his beard, but it was something strange. But he does have a claw hand. He has like a claw for a hand. You sit across from the elven man named Val in ridiculous clothing. Just like, if that guy was wearing rich clothing, it's poor in comparison to what Val is wearing. It just is stupid.
It's just borderline insulting.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Here, I will give you an image, because I'm going to do that now. You're here.
Oh boy, here we go.
Here we go. There's lots of them. Alright, here is Val. Just ridiculous. As I dredge the accent from my accent from my memory banks. I believe it was Scouse, wasn't it? Liverpool Scouse. Okay, listen now. And then as he's like beginning to speak to you, I'm trying to remember. I think it was Gavin. Gavin, your character walked in. You went and you asked about some stuff, and then the dwarf bartender guy directed you over to the table as all of these people in hoods begin to look at you. And they just stared. They didn't move. They just set their drinks down and looked. Sharp, as you begin to listen to him speak, you see this shape approaching you. So, if I could have Gavin and then Sharp describe your characters. Gavin, describe what Sharp is seeing, and Val.
You would be seeing what looks to be young to middle-aged human with he has like a bandana wrapped around his head. Like, here, I'll actually send a picture that I have to the chat, so it'll be a little easier.
There you go. Now remember, because I remember we were talking about this the other day.
As well, but I kind of can't.
I will remind everybody. I know Discord, or not Discord. I know Hero Forge isn't necessarily always accurate. That's why I always have you guys describe your characters. Hero Forge is useful for like the base image, but make sure you also describe in detail so that everybody kind of has a good, exact image of what you want them to see.
Yeah, Hero Forge couldn't create my character, so I'm gonna have to go deep in the description.
I had that problem with a character I was trying to make.
I used it to make a token, which I'm gonna be using, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult.
Yeah, I will have to explain a little bit more, but Hero Forge kind of gives at least the basic outline of what you would see walking up.
There we go. Very nice, very nice.
But yeah, you would see this kind of grizzled-looking sailor walking up with this big, like, I couldn't put it on in the picture, but the thing on his back is supposed to be covered by like a cloth.
I got you. Okay.
And as he walks up, you notice a small little automaton is scooting up next behind him, and it as he approaches and sits down at the table, it just kind of stops and looks up at everybody.
Interesting.
Sharp, if you want to describe yourself to everyone else.
Yeah, I'll have to, because I can't use Hero Forge or my token or anything until I get my PC working, so that's unfortunate.
Just picture in your head and describe what you see.
Well, a young man with short hair, looks to be human, for the most part, has an eye patch on his left eye. It has like a blue and brown coat, light blue, light brown. Average, boots you'd normally see. Some little off-white pants to go with that. Just the usual. Looks like pretty much an average citizen aside from the eye patch. Oh, and the fact that he has a lute with him on top of that. Kind of has a blue and silver lute.
So,
Bard.
So as he approaches and he sits down and he looks at you, Gavin's character, he's hold on, mate, I'll come back to you. I'm doing an Irish accent. The Scouse is very difficult. Trying to hone in on an accent. My brain won't let me do it. You ever have that problem? He looks.
Yeah,
He,
I have.
he looks. He looks at you, Sharp's character, and says, "I was dealing with you first. No, it's why does it resort to Irish? It's Scouse. It's like Scottish. Great time.
Oh, I love this.
Go McGonagall.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet
He
pains.
essentially looks at you and tells you that
Sweet Painza.
begins speaking with you, and as he begins to open his mouth, another person walks in and begins speaking with the bartender. They go back and forth for a second. As he begins to walk towards your table, you notice he begins to walk over to that table of hooded men that had begun to look at this other person that had come and sat down next to you, Sharp, and Gavin, if you look over your shoulder, you look over there as Kyle's character is approaching that table. The one that begins to speak actually has a familiar accent. He sounds, you've heard that accent before. He's one of your countrymen. He's from somewhere in Pontetha, probably up north. Sounds like. And as he directs you, Kyle, over to that table, you guys had a small conversation about that he might
I have information of what I'm looking for.
He might have information about what you are looking for. And you begin to approach that table as well. Colton, how do you choose to enter this little room? You kind of come down some stairs finally, and you're like,
Oh, here we go.
finally!
Okay.
And there's a door, and it's like you've finally made your way down. It's like, holy shit.
I spent too long looking for whatever this is.
Lost in the labyrinth
Human
for years.
cities are too big for me. God, I need a drink. Is this a bar? Thank God. And I will. What kind? Does this door go in or out? No.
There is no door, actually. As far as you can see from the outside. It's just like
All right, cool.
door
No
frame.
big entrance to slam the door open.
The door isn't too tall for him.
I walk in. I just walk in. I'm like, all right, let's go. And I just start
so the three
slowly
of
walking
you
in.
that have begun to circle this table, Val, again, doesn't even get the chance to speak because he goes, listen, I'll come back to you, and he just like slaps his hand on the table. Who the fuck are you people? Why does it go Irish? Why is that happening? I've never had that problem before. I can't. My Irish is the hardest one, and it keeps going back to that. This is not a problem I've ever. It's genuinely, I'm not doing
This
it on
is
purpose.
gloriously scuffed. I love
it. It's
Love being
fantastic.
here.
It's very me to like lose accents. But yeah, he's
Oh no,
just
trust
like,
me, I do it all the time.
he's like, "Are you here looking for work?"
Yes.
First, wait, who are you talking to?
He's
Me or
talking to you, Colton.
Okay.
Talking to me? Okay, good.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the floor, just like, ugh. And then I hear you looking for work? I just got here, but
All right,
sure.
All right, mate. Listen, I'm gonna go around the table and we're gonna ask everybody the name. I got it back. I'm gonna ask everybody the names, and then we're gonna get you down. Okay, and then we're gonna figure out who the fuck you are and if you're looking for work. Okay. You points to you, Gavin. Who the fuck are you?
I am Manus Azara, and as I say that, I point down to my my automaton companion, and he kind of like lifts up, and I'm like, and this is Voithos. He is my companion.
So you see a little short automaton that's next to him. It looks a little damaged, but it's got some repairs here and there. Seems pretty handy, actually. And then he points to you, Sharp. Who are you?
Oh yeah, I'm Lex Cross.
Lex. Okay, nice to
Hi.
meet you. You're the one I invited, right? Not all these other people.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
wondering why I was invited directly, actually.
Well, you might have an idea. Think about it for a minute. What about you? Points at you, Kyle.
My name's Revion.
Revion.
I'm in search of answers, but this seems like something that might help me get my answers by joining you.
I see.
What I heard from your other group.
And, you, short friend, as he points to you, Colton, if you want to describe and also name yourself.
As you look over to me,
Everybody turning over their shoulder and
you
looking.
gotta look. You gotta look down,
Yeah.
and I'm talking 1.5 feet from the floor. As you see a possum folk in some navy-ish and like dark leather armor with just a kind of like a I'd say like maybe like a cow leather cloak, and just like not the hood's not up, and just a couple of sacks, like little pouches on his side, and then a bag that just like you can hear clink clink, just like glass. And then he just says, you can call me Jug. Is it all right if I get a drink first? I spent 4 hours trying to get here.
He doesn't even say a word. He's just like, you see at the top of a head just shaking, and then like clack of a cup up on the top of the counter. And he kind of, grabs it and he walks around and says, all right, here you go. Hands it to you directly because he knows you're a bit too short. Bit on the short
I can
side.
hop up on a stool. I just like as I say that, like I'm lifting the cup up to my mouth. I can hop up on a stool, and then I just like down the whatever he gave me.
I give him my chair and I just stand up.
Do you
Alright, I hop
stand
in
or
his
sit
chair
in the
and
chair?
I stand.
Of course, naturally, 1 foot tall.
Naturally.
So you're sitting there, and he opens his mouth and he looks around. And he goes, "No friends, nobody else walking in behind you." He's like just looking
Not
at you
to
all,
my knowledge.
right?
I'm gonna be honest. I look like the kind of person who has friends.
Don't ask me questions like that. I've been around a long time. Look at the hairs on my head and look at my ears. I've seen a lot of stupid shit. And as he opens his mouth to begin to speak, I'll wait for him to join. I'll do the critical role. Robert, if you'd like to enter and sit down. Robert,
Yeah,
if you would like to
there it is.
describe yourself
There it
to
is.
what everybody turns and sees as the very, very fancily dressed elven man sits across at the table with like some gray hair in the front, gray hair in the ponytail behind, wearing extremely fancy clothes. In this sort of like kind of dim room, lots of browns and brasses that need to be cleaned probably. It's not like a divey place. It's just kind of, it's not like super high quality. It's just it's a place. It's a place where people meet, clearly. What does everyone see as you enter the room?
They turn, look at me, and they see a kid who, very young for be on board, about in his early 20s, 21 to be specific, and he's wearing clothes that not a person of high standard would wear, but definitely not somebody of a lower standard would wear. He's got common clothes, but you notice that he's got a very specific aesthetic. He has a white hood with as well as black hair, but the one thing to take notice of is that his hair has somewhat of a white stripe, like a highlight down the middle that comes, and he's also got these different color shade to his eyes, somewhat of like a pinkish hue almost. But he's also about, how tall is he?
Taking your notes.
Yeah, he's about 5'2". So he's pretty small, but not extremely small.
Short, but not, not Jug.
Not Jug.
Not
About
Jug.
I'd say as tall as Colton almost.
Well, Jug is a foot tall, so if you're taller than him, you're
I am
doing good.
I'm a foot pushing
You're already a
foot and a
off to a good
half.
start. So
I'm starting to worry that I'm the tallest person here.
My
And a
guy's
whopping
about
5'9".
6 foot.
Okay.
Okay, no, you're taller than me. Good.
So he has so he makes it with like an entrance. He has an apple in his hand. He's just biting down on it, and like when he's got half in his mouth, he just raises his hand. He's like, "Yo."
It would be good for me to advise you that I've just opened the tablet, so we begin. So he leans in and he says, I'm suspecting that this is the last of you that's going to walk in, surprisingly, and throw me off. Okay, mate, listen, we have a job. If people are right, we're going to find out. So, and he, looks around at everybody for a second. He says, don't be alarmed, I'm not going to kill you. Waves his hand across. Everybody, first roll. Everybody roll your d20 and add your charisma modifier.
Come on.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Wait, what's my charisma modifier?
Yours?
Speaking
Let me
of
see it.
something, this is with the notes that you had us take for our.
Yours is a +1. Sharp. Lex. Yours is...
Mine?
Yeah. Lex is a +1 on charisma.
Oh my god, I rolled a natural 20.
Okay, you resist the effect.
I'm
I rolled a 6 with a modifier of 0.
You fail.
I'm rolling on the owlbear. Hang on, I'm like clicking it a
How
bunch of
the
times.
hell do I roll a natural 20? This is so
Are you
scuffed.
fucking kidding? Okay, who wants to hear what I got?
You get.
Alright.
I have -1 to charisma, and I got a 1.
Oh shit! You got a 0. First
I got a
roll.
0.
Oh my god.
A portal opens
I'm
and
very
Jug
sorry.
disappears into hell.
I rolled a 16.
Okay.
Oh my god. You're the only one that rolled an even.
I rolled a 9 with a +1, so I got 10.
I got an even
Oh my
number,
God.
technically.
So,
Oh no, does that count as a number?
So Gavin and Colton, and all 5 of you actually notice that you see, like, in his other hand, because he waved the other one, but it had kind of a little bit of a magician effect where you saw the hand that was moving, but you didn't see the other hand. He's actually holding a scroll in it. So Manus and Jug, you both feel compelled in a certain way, but you're not sure. The other 3 of you, you feel like you feel something. You're like, that was strange. This is Zone of Truth. So you may not say something if you don't want to give something away, but if you talk about something, you have to tell the truth. Clear? For the 2 of you that failed, at least.
And I don't
Okay,
know how
yeah.
Zone of Truth works. I didn't think I'd be having this happen to me so fast.
He says, listen, I'm not stupid. I've been
This is my first
I've
time.
been around. I've got to ask you all, are any of you pirates? Pretty straightforward, which is like, damn, okay. Any of you pirates?
No.
Just like, nope.
No,
Horrid profession.
I'm not really anything. I'm just a sailor.
I see. All right.
I just look at the dude bluntly and just say with like no expression, I hate pirates.
You ever killed anybody just because you felt like it?
No.
Yeah, no.
I kill only to
Start.
defend the lost.
Not by choice.
I see.
I haven't had to kill anybody, no.
He actually chuckles. Okay. All right, I see. Okay. Well, we have a little job. If I were to say the word Witch King, do you know who that is?
Witch King is the Witch King.
Sharp.
Which king are we talking
Lex,
about?
Lex, you know, I messaged you earlier, by the way. So look for that. But yeah, you do know who this is. Vaguely. What I told you is about the extent of
And
what you know,
thanks
Lex.
for not allowing me to play off that I didn't know about it. All right.
Jack, you also are aware of this. So let's, for now, just say, because you'll probably get a description at some point, let's just say that's a very bad, very, very bad man. That was, like, this just happened. This was like a few months ago that this finally wrapped up and someone dealt with the problem. People in your home city were actually very concerned that it was going to come there, and the guilds were actually preparing to do something about it if they had to on a larger scale. It looks pretty bad and pretty bleak, like it was going somewhere. Pretty continent-wide conflict might have broken out. But yeah, rewinding slightly, he looks around and he says, "Have you ever heard of the Witch King? Does that ring a bell to any of you?
No.
Do you serve the Witch King?"
Unfortunately, yes.
I see.
And no, I do not serve the Witch King.
I
Well,
don't even know who you're talking about.
I've never heard of
I don't know
Witch-
about
this
any
Witch King.
kings.
see, well,
Why would that be an important question?
he kind of looks over, Manus.
Lex looks at him with a deathly stare.
Manus, he actually looks kind of past you and Lex, kind of to the other people in the room. He looks over to the other people in the direction of where the hooded men were, and he says, "Got a job for you. Something needs to be delivered, and there's a lot of people invested in it." And he actually kind of cocks his head this way a little bit. And as you all look over there, you see someone wrapped in like a thick coat. Face covered, head like bandana thing on, some glasses, pinch nose. Kind of like the other guy in the bar over at one of the other tables, but we'll come to that. But pinch nose, glasses covering up the eyes, kind of hard in a dark corner. They're just kind of sitting, one foot up on the bench, kind of leaned back. Just kind of looking at all of you intently, seems to be. We have to move something quite dangerous, and the mission might be quite dangerous. And my little bit of trickery there was... That was a zone of truth. I had to test some of you. Some of you resisted, which is fine, but I trust you. If you can resist that, and you're still sitting here after I've asked you questions like that, I think I trust you. Meet topside in an hour. He begins to think. He's like, how would I direct you to the ship? Look for the crowd. Head south. And then... No, not south. No, you'd go... No. East. Sorry, I haven't been in this city in a long time. Go east and look for the crowd. He gets up and he says, I'll see you in a bit. And he disappears. Kind of with like a pop. There's like a... And just kind of leaves the five of you there.
And just like that, I think I'm involved in something I really don't want to be a part of.
And that
I don't get magic. It confuses me.
that character in the corner stands.
You and me both, buddy.
That character in the corner sits up, kind of brushes off the knees, and then stands up, begins walking out, very gracefully. And they walk past you and they kind of look at you all as they're passing. And don't be late. I'll be waiting for you. And she exits and walks out.
That sounded welcoming.
Sounded interesting.
And
I'm afraid to get lost in this city again. Can I hitch a ride on somebody's shoulder, please?
As that
I
person
live here.
exits,
Go ahead.
as that person
Been a while.
exits the
Revion! No.
as that character exits, the three hooded figures that were over on the other side of the room get up, take their drinks up to the counter, set them up there. A couple of them lay down coins for the bartender, as the one Revion that you saw that spoke with you, Revion, he actually seems to walk in front and they fall in behind him. The one wearing the sort of leather vest sort of armor, and the other one that was sitting across from him that I described as being quite tall stands like 2 heads taller than the one that told you his name was Terragus. He stands really fucking tall. And he puts his hand on his sword and begins to leave the room behind that other character. Just kind of looking around the room, watching everybody, taking in what he can as he passes. Note in the Discord. And Manus, looking at him, the clothing is familiar. You do recognize it to be from the north. It does look very northern Pontetha. Like, you can tell.
Very interesting.
Very.
The other probably can't put a finger on it. Hard to tell. But he's very skinny, very tall. And it is the 5 of you. The 3 men wearing grayish kind of robes. And then the 2 armored men sitting further down from them. So at the entrance of the door, on this first wall, you have the men in gray robes and such, about 2 benches from the door, and then further almost to the corner, about 2 benches away from the corner, you have the man with the pinch nose glasses, slick back black hair, wearing like a leather breastplate that's got, like, you know, red and gold markings all over it. Who would... I don't know that any of you... Lex and Manus, this looks like maybe Benethelzor colors, or Arcanesia for those that don't remember what that is. These look like Benethelzor colors, the Arcan Empire sort of colors, as well as the Knights. The colors that they're wearing seems to be maybe that they're from that. The other guys, if you want to, I'll let you roll for it if you're like actually curious as to who these are. The men in the gray robes. If anybody wants to guess, because you're all sitting in there and can look and see. Does anybody want to try and figure out who any of these people are?
I'll go for it.
Okay, so roll a d20 and add...
That's fast.
I'll say add your intelligence, because this is just trying to, like, look at it and remember... Because, like, you're not going to, like, look at them and go, that's where they're from. I take note of specific... It's more remembering where they're from. So roll your d20 and add your intelligence.
Okay, so with the number I get, I add that on top of the intelligence?
Yeah, so you roll the number of the die, whatever comes up. So, shit, I threw that off my desk. I'm not getting that. So you roll your die. I got a 6, and then you would add whatever it says plus. So the modifier, the plus, adds to that number on your die.
So then I got a 16 then, because I got 15.
Okay, so a full success. So, this is a move that's called Spout Lore, technically. So you get to learn something interesting and useful. Probably from the city that you are from, you notice the men in the gray robes. Those are Azarend peacekeepers. Typically quite peaceful, very nice people. They're not very aggressive, but motherfucker can they fight if they have to. And to note, they actually have powers somewhat similar to what you can do, as far as you're aware. They actually are pretty similar to some of the abilities that you have figured out. Does anybody else want to roll as well? Did anybody else roll that wants to know?
Nah.
I'm not sure my guy would care.
I'd rather
so-
avoid conflict if I could, so I'm not gonna bother.
So Jack, it's just...
I'm more
like-
focused on my companions around me, not the other people in the bar. I'm more like
Okay.
checking everybody else out that I'm sitting with.
Jack, the other ones are, you probably wouldn't know much more than the fact that they're, like, 2 knights and some guy in some fancy-looking-ish clothes with, like, kind of a somewhat scuffed-up vest. It's not, like, destroyed, but it's got a couple nicks in it here and there. It looks like he's maybe actually seen some action, but he looks official at the same time. Probably from the Arcan Empire, some sort of important people from there. Not a lot of people have been around that place much lately. They're stuck in quite a big war at the moment. What would you all like to do? They're just kind of conversing, sitting there.
I would like to buy everyone here a drink and for good luck in our passage on in sailing.
Oh, a drink. Okay, yeah, I can do that. That's fine.
Oh, hell yeah.
Brings over, he passes around 5 big old cups. Yeah, that's...
Gimme.
There you go. He kind of does this.
Before we do it,
He does this, like, hand motion at you, like, money expectant.
how much do I owe him?
He just kind of does some math. Give me a gold. Fuck it.
All right, I give him 2. Fuck it.
Hey, I see you. Yeah, mhm. You can come back here anytime, buddy. I like you. Goes back, pockets it, starts rubbing out some mugs as you guys sit there and enjoy your drinks.
I hold up the mug and I tell everyone I blessings of Phalos upon us all. May their guiding light lead us to wherever we need to go.
Cheers.
Cheers. And then just
Yeah,
like,
cheers.
I'm already done. I just wanted to be cheers.
He was drinking it already.
It's like in the middle of like the,
Drinking it while I was
little mini
doing my
speech. He's
little
just.
prayer.
There's actually
I
like,
walked around the city for 4
Ow.
hours.
I'm imagining like the just like him mid like very like official priest or something sort of toast. He's like blessings of Phalos, and while he's like saying that, you just.
That's exactly what happened as soon as I grabbed the thing. I was already.
So there's like a
Lex
backdrop
is
of
just
that
watching
noise.
like. Lex is just watching like that's quite a large mug. Where did all of that go?
Ale goes to the ale stomach. All right, Revian, I'm gonna hitch a ride on you, and I just like
Yeah.
hop on his shoulder.
Looks like you can drink just as much as you used to.
Damn straight.
And I help him up onto my shoulder.
No, it's okay. I can hop.
Okay. So, what now? You're just gonna sit and drink until time, or do you guys have a plan? Not a whole lot else to do, really. Not yet. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Do we want to try and find the spot and then go to a bar nearby where we're going to be?
I think that is a great idea.
That way
Small bar hop.
we have an hour to find where we need to go.
Trust me, it might take more than an hour to find anything in this city.
Is it a bad time to say that I live here and know exactly where I'm going?
I was waiting for that.
No, that is a very good thing to hear.
How long will it
I've
take?
only just arrived.
Lex, you probably
No.
you're having walked around this morning in the city. You might actually know the exact spot that he's talking about. Not because there were people gathered there, but like you remember a pretty large ship pulling in at one point, and it's just kind of been sitting there for a couple days. And you're like, maybe it's that, because it's kind of
Gotcha.
unfamiliar.
Okay. Well, I think I have a general idea of where we're going. Should we try?
Sounds good to me.
Manus, were you trying to
All right.
say something?
No, lead the way.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. I thought I heard you say something, so I was just checking. All right.
Onwards and upwards.
So he leads you out, and you guys go up, and instead of the various different directions that you guys came in, he takes you, and you guys head east. So coming up, and you turn left, coming out of the little hole in the ground, and you head east down the docks, following kind of a canal, and it kind of just zigs and zags, slithers on as you round a corner, and some of the like taller buildings shrink down a bit down into like more shorter buildings, more like dock warehouses and shops and things that would be around a sort of dock area like this. And while you guys are walking, actually, the day has kind of moved on a bit, and Lex, to no surprise to you, as well as Manus, because you've been here for you've been in the city for a minute, so you've heard the noise a time or two. You hear the winding down of the siphons, which to the other three that have not heard this before, who've kind of just hoved into the city, just came into the city, whether by sea or land, in the last day, you hear, and as you're like, what the fuck? And it's just all around you, like if like standing right next to a train that's like powering up, getting ready to go. Vibrating the ground, you look up, and the little orbs sitting up above these buildings begin to, you see that blue funnel fades, and they begin to like lower down, and they settle onto like little spires that sit up and hold it just perfectly on the top.
Well, that's not something you see every day.
What is that?
And Lex, you do know what these are, by the way.
I think I worked on one of those.
You might have.
Not sure though. I've worked on a lot of things.
They are, if you want to relate to everybody, they are magic siphons. So they pull ethereal energy in through them, and then they store it. That is what the battery ward specializes in. That's what a lot of the jobs there are in the battery ward of the city. They actually store and transfer this energy in batteries and whatever it is that they can, in power stones and different magical items, whatever, some places actually take direct in power from this, store the energy, or run it directly into trying enchanting something that's needs a very powerful enchantment. And this level of energy coming in, there's enough excess that they're able to funnel it in and just supercharge something to, instead of sitting and taking a year to enchant something, they could probably enchant something that would take that amount of time and 100,000 gold. They could do it in a couple months, which is holy shit, that's fast. That's insane. Because the other option is to take the entire year to do this one singular item and do nothing but that. So, as you wander on, and those have settled, you go and you find a little pub on the side, facing the little slithering canal, and business is starting to pick up a little bit. It seems like, and Lex again, Manus, you also, the two of you seem to note that you guys know, but the other three, you note that it begins to get a little bit more busy. It seems like when these pick up and set down, the city begins to shift and move again. Things start to change. It seems the city, kind of like lunch and quitting time in a city, around rush hour. It has different rush hours based on what's happening with the siphons. And you see business begin to pick up, people passing by, people with brisk paces. You see a couple of people in official-looking robes come in, grab a drink it rapidly. A couple people take a couple shots, and go, they slap the table and go, whew, and then they start walking briskly again, take off back out into the day. And the hour passes, and you begin to see, over the course of the next 15 minutes at the end of this hour, people passing by the door. You see small groups, not very large groups of people. You see very official looking people begin to pass by the door.
Would that be the crowd that we're supposed to look for, starting to gather?
Anybody?
Well, I don't know. You want to try to find out?
It's getting about that time. I figure we may as well.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of just sitting here.
Let us embark.
So, you guys set out, Lex leading you again. And it's not long. You walk for maybe 2 minutes, and you come around the rest of this big curve that had started, taking you back almost directly east again. And you do see a crowd has begun to form, and there's a sort of scaffolding thing on the side of a building. Looks like they're working on something, and people have kind of gathered around in this area, and you see... I'll have to, bear with me just a moment to find this, because I actually just realized the only image that I did not keep directly at the top. Might have it in my notes, though. Or my, photos. You see a ship that looks like... Where did it go? Hang on, actually, it might be in here. This is the one thing I forgot to add to myself.
Tisk tisk.
Tisk tisk, indeed. I'll get the ship to you in a minute, but you see a large ship. Really tall, really big. 4 masts, guns full, it is a big sucker, and it is black at base with red accents on all of the little details of the ship. And the crowd begins to gather. Would any of you like to do anything you guys want to do? Everybody around you is wearing very official looking clothing and look like they mean business that you would never be involved in because it's not.
We don't look official.
Not the official
Yeah, why do I have
work
a
that you
feeling
guys
this is
do.
the right place?
I'm just standing on Revian's shoulder. Can I see my boat from here? Can I see my little
Nope.
little
Towers
skiff?
and towers. That's all you've
Okay.
got.
Damn it! I can't see my boat in here. I was gonna try to see if they can hoist it up with us.
From this
What?
distance, probably not.
Damn it!
Here you go. There's the
wanna-
ship. This is what you see if it posts correctly. Yeah, there you go. This is what you see sitting tucked into the dock just like everything else. That big metal pole that kind of holds it in place. And looking at it, you think for a second, oh, maybe that's to prevent like ships getting stolen or just leaving when they feel like it. They actually have to tell them that they're leaving so that they don't think anybody's stealing the ship. This is at least as much as you can figure out.
I want to.
Go ahead.
I want to talk to Voithos one more time. Make sure he's like ready to like get on the ship. Like he doesn't need any like last minute like.
I just realized we never discussed a voice for Voithos. What does Voithos sound like to you? Kind of monotone robot or...
I figured either like a monotone robot, kind of like a Jarvis style voice, or if you wanted to, he could just make a bunch of random noises like R2D2.
I love the Jarvis idea. I don't like a tiny robot that's like, you know, how about like maybe a foot tall, about the same size as Jug, actually, I think, right?
I was thinking about like 2.5 feet tall.
Taller
like,
than
kind of like
Jug.
a,
Taller
bigger than
like-
Jug.
Bigger than Jug. That's funny. This is
Awesome
Like-
folk are
Wow.
small.
this
With
is
kind
funny.
of
Lord
just, like,
dump.
a little
Awesome folk are
skinny-
tiny.
He's the way I'd describe him is like a skinny warforged on like tank treads instead of legs, like a short little skinny warforged guy with tank treads.
So what do you say to him?
I kind of like lean down and I'm like I pull out my toolkit and I kind of like make sure all of everything's like adjusted and tight and I ask him, "Are you ready to set sail again, my friend?"
He says, yes, master. I am quite prepared. I thank you for repairing me. I couldn't articulate what I was trying to tell you before, but I am ready to go. Where are we headed? Seems to be like
I'm not quite
programmed to be
sure.
kind of exuberant and excited to assist.
Lex just kind of
Sure.
watches and he's like, oh, so this is one of those days. Cool.
Small talking metal man. Seen lots of those.
I tell him that we're going to deliver something
Delivery, I see.
and we are to protect the trade routes just as Phalos has ordained us to.
I see, yes, master. Yes, it will be done. Do you require anything at the moment?
I require nothing.
His two little claws are like yes, okay, I see. And he just kind of like rolls back and just kind of settles in next to you and just kind of like that's it. He doesn't like no more interaction after that. He just like stops.
Well, unless
Sorry. Go
unless
ahead.
anybody else has questions, that's all I really needed. I just wanted to make sure he was good.
Yeah, he seems good. You tighten a couple of bolts that maybe took loose from rolling around the city. That at least it seems loose. The mind of someone's like, oh god, shit, make sure. Oh, that's loose. It was loose. Oh god, fuck. It's like caring for something that's been broken, that's just now been fixed. That sort of anxiety of like, oh god, don't break it again. Please don't break. Please don't break.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I put my tools away and I like tuck them away with whatever I have under the cloak on my back and whatnot.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that picture, I immediately thought you have a little claptrap.
I was also
Oh
like,
my
it's like kind
God.
of claptrap.
I didn't even think that.
I was hoping no one would make that connection for his
Not really.
sake.
How do you?
Extremely
that.
polite claptrap.
No kidding.
how do
Yeah,
you
he's
carry all that
Proper
stuff?
claptrap.
All right.
Yeah. Definitely not the personality, but like, yeah, about the size.
So, you guys stand there and you wait a few minutes. People converse. There's a lot of conversation going on around you. And you begin to feel a bit of a breeze pick up. And then a couple of people actually look up. And you begin to hear a... As some of you would know it is called, an ornithopter comes in. And A bunch of people kind of clear out the space on the other side of where you guys are standing. The scaffolding thing I described in the ship, here and here. Ship's on your right, scaffolding's on your left. Actually lands all on the far side of the crowd over there. And you see some people moving about it. It seems like people are disembarking. And you see somewhat tall, something with shiny-ish skin. And you see like a pole in his hand. And then you see another pole next to them, but you can't see the head of the person walking next to them. And then you see them, the tall one, bend down and then come back up with a person basically in their hand and set them up on the scaffolding. As you see a gnome stand there with like a weird tube on her back, a big it almost looks like a tank, like a little air tank of some kind. And she's got like goggles on. She's wearing some kind of harness thing. She's got tools on her like belt, hanging from her belt. She's pack on her back, and she looks around. And Lex, you are surprised to see this is Grand Artificer Phoebe Tinkerfen. She's one of the Grand Artifice of the city. She actually helps run the city, as well as running the Enmanilium Cartographerium. She looks around to everybody and she says, "Well, hello everybody. How are you? Thanks for coming. Boy."
Lex tries to hide himself.
I don't really do the public speaking sort of stuff. I leave that to some of the others, from the guy from Telemid Sky Network. Telemid loves to give speeches. So we're here. You sponsors and stuff for this trip. Thanks for the money. And I see some of you unfamiliar, and she's kind of looking in you guys' directions. I don't know you guys. I'm guessing you're sailors here to conscript or something. The captain's on the ship. Anyways, just stick around. You'll find her. Few people that I have to thank are the Azarend. She points to the people in the grey robes. The Arcan Empire for some money. Yeah, you guys too. Thank you. And the kind of tall, skinny, black-haired guy from that bar is now standing in the crowd also. You see the two armored guys behind him. You see Terragus again, Revian, standing somewhere in the crowd as well, with the other two hooded figures standing next to him, and he's got his arms crossed, not moving, head kind of down, hood, kind of blocking the light to his face, as well as the other two next to him, and they're just kind of keeping an eye, not even paying attention. And it's just, these guys, I can't say who they are technically. I know who they are, but some of you might as well, but we're in a public space, so I can't say that. As well as some emissary from the Horned Queen, thank you, for some money, the Prismatic Society, the Court of Caltiveris, what do you say it? She like kind of looks at the Dragonborn that you can see now, by the way, that was the tall one. How do you say that? Calterivis. Oh, yeah, Calterivis. The Court of Calterivis from Draco Mornis. Jack, that's you. Oh, the Court of Calterivis. Okay. And then
that immediately catches my attention, and I just look up like,
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay. You're starting to get the idea, oh, this is something serious. Oh, boy. She keeps going, and she says, emissaries from the Grand Chief of Admanta, Marcel Phoebe Tinkerfen, hello. Emissaries from the Kunshu of Kenjar and the Tsuyusa Kingdom, as well as herself, Tayona Musume. If I said that right. Manus, that's like a... Oh, shit. She's here? That is a hero of Kenja. She's a protector of the kingdom there. She's essentially the born and bred hero of Kenja. You don't know like a whole lot of details, but you know that she's essentially just like a raised and groomed
like
to be a hero. Yeah, she's like made to be. I will actually post an image of her as well. I've been hard at work. Not today, just over the last several months. And she's sporting the colors of the imperial family of Kenja. And she looks around and says, thank you, Tayano Masame. There's also the people with her, the Arashi clan, and also the Kusumoto clan. Thank you guys for helping out. Is there anybody else? You guys, I can't say who you are either. She points at the elven man, Val, standing next to a tiefling woman, who seems to be wearing, like, this sleeveless long robe thing kind of stretches almost down to the ground. It's like lots of different colors, but they're all kind of dark and faded colors. And it's kind of layered all the way down in different colors. And then it seems like what she's got underneath it is just sort of like a vest, sort of like weird cross between a vest and a shirt. Not quite a shirt, not quite a vest. She doesn't seem to mind. And she just kind of lean back, kind of just not really caring much. You see Val kind of give one of these. And she looks around and says, well, I think that I don't really, like I said, I don't really do public speeches. So, thanks for the money. We're gonna go now. I guess you folks that are joining, if that's what you're here for, unless you're here to kill me. In that case, Tarek has killed them, but, join the ship. Welcome aboard, I guess. Talk to the captain. I'll see you there. And she kind of hops down on the hand of the dragonborn, lowers it back down on the ground, and they begin to like board the ship. And you see the other person with the pole is a dwarf, actually, as they break the crowd. And the dwarf actually stays behind and just kind of waves at Phoebe as she boards. As the crowd begins to disperse, you hear several pops and cracks of magic. You look around, you do not see Val, and you do not see the purple tiefling woman. You do not see the emissary from the Prismatic Society, obviously. There are several that just kind of disappear instantly. As well as some of them begin kind of like looking around. Lex, you would assume, probably looking for ornithopter towers or something to go board an ornithopter and go home. What would the five of
The
you
usual.
like to do?
Rivian, hold my spot. I need to go find my boat. And I'm gonna like run down, see if I can see some familiar buildings so I can go find my little skiff.
Extend my arm to the
Could I
side. He
help
runs
him
down
with
my arm.
that?
I was
Yeah,
about
just
to
like-
say, can I send Voithos with him? Like, can he like ride on Voithos so they can like go
Be there
faster?
quicker.
Yeah, Voithos,
Yeah.
so you see the little automaton thing come rolling at you, which to you, Jug, this is like, what the fuck is that? It's like a bit
It's like
alarming.
Oh my gosh!
And he's like, hello, sir, my master has told me to give you a ride to your ship. And he just kind of
Oh.
sits there.
Oh, thank you.
Extends his hand.
I guess I'll just like hop on him, get on his back or something.
As you like walk towards him, he like grabs you, sets you on top of his head, and then just begins like speeding forward. A bit alarming.
Oh,
It's kind of like, oh shit, you gotta grab onto something. And he
by the
speeds
gods,
off.
by the gods.
So he speeds off,
In
and
good hands.
you guys set off to find your ship. And over the course of the next few minutes, the crowd disperses and people have cleared out. And you see on the ship, a half-orc looks over the side and he goes, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing? Are you joining? Did you conscript? Are you boarding the ship?" Pointing at the four of you remaining, standing waiting.
It seems that way, I suppose.
All right, well, captain's busy at the moment. Just come to the gangplank. I'll interview or whatever. All right. Do you guys approach?
Yes.
Yeah.
You just see
Yep.
kind of a tall half orc. Seems somewhat displeased. Kind of a dark shirt. Shorter haircut and like a bandana around the head, tied to maybe catch the sweat or something. Got like leather bracers, probably just to keep from hitting his arms on stuff while he works. Just that sort of thing. And he looks around and he like grabs a line and kind of leans over and he's, are you gonna kill the captain? There's not a whole lot to join the crew. I mean, everybody here will kill you if you try to, but you're welcome to try, I guess. Is that your plan? Are you gonna kill the captain?
I'm just gonna
Nope.
look at him very confused.
Why the hell would we do that?
Why does everyone keep saying that?
Are you gonna kill Phoebe?
I'm not even sure who the captain is.
Are you gonna kill Phoebe?
No.
No.
You gonna kill me, I guess? Are you able-bodied? Can you work?
I'm gonna be honest.
Yes,
I'd rather
I am
not
able-bodied.
interact with my boss.
Okay, listen. listen. Okay. Welcome to the crew, I guess. Head down below decks when you hear the bell ring, or you hear somebody calling out really loud. That means we're setting off. Crew's down in the, they're in the hold having, a drink with each other. I don't know what they're doing. They're just doing the fucking shit. I'm just getting this ready up here to get ready to set out. We've got, about 5 days ahead of us, hard sailing. So, get ready.
There's one more of us. He went to go find his boat.
Oh, getting his boat? Alright.
I say boat, but it's more to us like a little skiff or a little lifeboat. He's a small fellow. He was going to see if he could bring it along as a lifeboat or something.
I imagine we'll probably end
My
up seeing
companion
him on
is
the
with him
outside
as
of the
well.
dock. On our way out. Because we are disembarking. Looks up at the sun. He goes, probably about 10 minutes or an hour. I'm not really sure which one. We'll find out. Yeah, go down below and meet the rest of the crew, I guess. Look for James. Call for James. He'll be your second mate. And he turns and he walks back up towards the helm area, grabs a few lines and pulls them as he walks, checking them, make sure the knots are tight.
I guess I head on board.
All right.
I follow.
Okay. Boarding the ship, of which no one actually looked to see what the name of it is yet. There you go, everybody,
We have
in
not.
the Owlbear Rodeo.
Oh.
Hang on, let me post this back down at the bottom for you to see. There's the link to the Owlbear Rodeo. Robert, if you want to click on that, it'll take you to where we're all sitting with the game board up, so you guys can look at the ship and inspect some of the stuff. All right. So, delving down to the depths, you get a few looks and just kind of like, what the fuck? As you guys descend down to 2 decks down into the kitchen. You enter and there's 3 tables laid out and people sitting and talking. Some of them are leaned up against the wall, just kind of like chatting back and forth. A couple of them lean up against cannons and stuff like that. And to some of you, the familiar feeling of being in the hold of a ship, kind of low, bit hard. If you're over like about 5'7" over that, you're having to kind of duck down a little bit. And yeah,
For
just
a
a
lot
bunch
at
of
6
guys sitting around chatting. What would you like to do now?
I guess holler James.
You see
Here we go.
you see at the end of the table, you guys come in and there's 2 doors. There's a door further over to your right, but you enter the door on the left. You guys come in, and he's sitting at the table closest to you at the end. And you see, he's laid over on his arm, facing away from you, and you see him fall over, and he's, oh my gosh, well, yes, hello. Who are you? Oh, are you
New
new?
recruit.
Ah, okay. Well, let's see. Okay, let's go. What was I doing? Did I fall asleep? Oh boy. Let's put you to work. Okay. The chop boys, let's go up top and get. One of the other guys calls out. They haven't rung the bell yet. We're not leaving. He goes, oh, well, I'm James Corrigan. I'm the second mate. I navigate the ship. Welcome. I like maps and I don't. He's like kind of an older guy, gray long hair. Not rotund, but he's got a little bit of dad bod going on. He doesn't seem like the fighting sort. He's definitely not like a military guy or a fighter. He's just James. And he looks around at you all. And he goes,
Just James.
yeah, I'm just James. Welcome on board the ship. He kind of looks around. He points over to a guy and he says, that guy over there, we just call him the Templar, because he likes to be official. He's weird. Not really. He's not really that weird. This guy over here, this is our doctor. His name is Ferrith. Or you can call, if you like to be special and be technical and respectful, if you're one of those weirdos, you can call him Dr. Takmadan. You can also talk to the cook, standing over at the stove, actually. To your surprise, is a dark elf cooking. The cooking isn't the surprise, it's being on a ship. He says, looks around, the bosun, shit, she's not around here. I don't think she may be out somewhere, either on the dock or another part of the ship working on something. Her workshop's actually a deck down, so that's not really important. I guess, I don't know, sit for a minute and we'll go up top. And then as he like finished speaking, ding 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 ding. Then you hear somebody calling out, and it's like, ships away, like calling out from the top deck, calling out for the crew to come up top. All hands, calling out for everyone to come up on deck. And as everybody rushes up top, I'm guessing you guys go up, do you? Follow the rest of the crew? Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Here I am.
you go up, and you are greeted with the image of the person in the long coat that told you to not be late. Which you now note is carrying Manus, a familiar style of sword to you. It looks like something that they would carry in Kenja, which is a little odd that people don't typically use those on ships, because people usually just use like cutlasses or short knives and daggers and stuff like that. But she's carrying a katana, which is okay. Stylistic choice, I guess. And she looks, this character, you can see now, has got a bit of a female shape, and she looks around, waiting for all the men to gather, and it gets a little bit crowded on the deck, because you're looking around, and it's like, oh shit, there's actually quite a few people on this ship. The detector in your head, you look around your room, and you go, this is about 100 people. We're way past that. You look around, and people are kind of chatting, and she taps if any of you that are looking at her, she taps the scabbard of the katana on the deck twice, and you hear the bell ring a couple times, and then you hear one of the mates, and quiet! And they all kind of shut up, and she says, alright, listen up, we're setting out. Phoebe, where's Phoebe? I didn't see her. And Phoebe kind of wanders up from her left up on the deck. Oh, I didn't know you were up here. Oh, okay, so, listen. We're setting out. I can't tell you anything here. She wants to tell you later. Okay? We're setting out to go someplace. Location currently set is Birdfast, unless anybody has a better idea. James. We're going to Birdfast. It's across the water. It's about 5 days. Right? Kind of looks around at the crew. Someone just kind of nods, and she goes, all right?
Aye.
Okay, everybody calls out in unison. Oh, yeah, aye. She says, all right. Oh, that's right. We're in Escamil. Someone get the dock master and tell him that we're leaving. And you hear the mate call over the side, and the thing swings open. The ship gets pulled out by the same thing that actually brought your ship in, Jug. Gets pulled out. And you guys are pulled out to sea. And as the little rope chain detaches, and you see the beloved image of just water. On and on and on, as far as the eye can see. Sun straight up overhead, a good breeze blowing through. And you look around, and she's standing up on the deck again. She looks around, she up at the sky, and she calls up, and she says, Crow's Nest! Any sign of the lady here up there? And you see someone up top, kind of looks around, and gives one of these. No sign of the lady! We're good to go! And she goes, all right, off your pop, gentlemen. Looks around the ship and says, okay, underway we get.
So who do I talk to about picking up Jug?
Yeah, I was about to say Jug and Boithos are unaccounted for.
You see a breath come in, and she's getting ready to say something, and you speak, and she goes, "Who? Who are you? I've never seen you in my life. Are you new parts of the crew? Joining up?
Yes.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
We had one more, and he went to go get his skiff.
Skiff. I don't know if I have anywhere to put a skiff. We can try
It's
it.
about
I
the
guess.
size of a little dinghy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crow's nest.
Keep in
you
mind, it's
spy
not
a
exactly
skiff.
as big as you think.
She says, "Crow's nest. You spy a skiff." He says, "Aye, Captain. Starboard bow." And you see a little skiff off out in the water. Jug, you were pulled out and then just kind of released. Once you had explained to the dockmaster that you were leaving, he was like, "Oh, that ship's actually setting out also. You probably meet them once you head out. They'll probably see you. Just call out when you get out there." And you see the glint of a telescope up in the crow's nest. I see.
Yeah, Jug is already at the top of his sail, just standing on it, waving his arms. I'm coming
That's our man over there.
She looks around the deck. Yes. What? Somebody say something?
No.
Oh, I thought you said something. Okay. She looks around and says, "Get that ship in, haul her in. We'll either tow her or put her on the deck if we need to. Let's get it. Drop the main sail, and we'll catch a little bit of wind and head over there." And you guys just slowly drift over, and they begin to look over the side of the ship, and they're like, "Hey, small guy!" You see the half orc leaning over the side. And he says, "Hey, you."
Yeah. What?
What do we? Kind of looks at your ship. How big is your ship, by the way? Is it would it be
It's the
stowable
size-
under deck, or would it have to be dragged?
It is the size of a canoe.
Okay, yeah, then you can.
Jug can. Jug could probably pick it up himself.
Man.
He says, "All right,
this is awesome.
we're gonna throw down a couple lines. All right, we're gonna haul you up and put you under deck. Okay?
Sounds good.
Not you, but your boat. I don't know if you're. I guess you're probably a sailor. You sailed here. You know what I mean. All right, hang on. Throws a couple lines over, haul you up. They actually turn your boat over after you get off of it, and they begin some of the crew begin taking some of the pieces off the deck, and they're beginning to lower it down. See the lower decks begin to open one at a time. And they lower it all the way down into I believe it's the third deck of the ship where they put it. Fourth deck, down, pretty far down, and sorry, my eye is itching.
You've got little boats on the third deck down.
Yes.
You said fourth.
Well, yeah, fourth from the top. It's a big ship. There's actually another deck under the cargo deck. That's another cargo deck, but it's that is completely not navigatable by
anything.
Like the other one. It's you would one person at a time would be able to get through there. It's pointless to have a map of it. There's also a piece at the front of the ship that I don't have a map for, but it's mostly just an armory of guns and stuff. Not the powder magazine, just rifles and swords and things for the crew. And as the ship is stored under deck, she looks around at everybody and says, "All right, let's get ready to set off. Drop full canvas, set out the stud sails, let's get her moving. Hop to, you fucking deck apes, get to it, let's move." She's calling out just obscenities and just completely not understandable for some of you that are not used to sailing. It's that moment of what did she say? I don't know what to do. And you feel the tap on your shoulder of the half orc, and he says, "Come here, I'll show you." And he begins to show you how to move about the deck. What would any of you like to do on the ship in order to get us underway?
Where's the heavy shit?
Any specific job, or are you just gonna help in general as the rest of the crew? Because it seems, regardless of whatever it is that you're doing, you've just kind of been tossed in with the rest of the crew for now.
Do you think
Pretty much just help in general. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I think we should just help in general until an opportunity comes for each of us to find something specific.
I have a quick
carry
question.
any cargo that needs to be carried.
Of course.
Who do I need to
offer,
talk
and
to in-
the guys laugh at you, and then you rip it out of their hand, Jug, and begin to just carry it off, and they go. It's just kind of throw their hands over, oh, okay, he's got it. Never mind.
Would I talk to
He's
James
got-
about being able to use my abilities to help the ship?
It'd be Lemig, actually, the half-orc. His name is Lemig. And he just like, abilities, what are you talking about? You got some kind of abilities? I don't know what abilities?
As he asked me that question, I hold out my hand and a small bit of wind starts swirling in my hand.
He goes, oh,
I can probably help push the ship along if
like
the sails will hold it.
Kind of like brushes his forehead. He's like, that felt nice. On what scale can you do this? The captain might like you.
I'm not entirely sure with a ship this size. I've helped some smaller ships along before.
Well, let's find out what you got, all right? And he kind of starts directing you up to the top deck, and he walks up and says, Captain Caraway. And she says, what the fuck do you want? Sorry, Captain voice is still on. Hi, darling. What do you need? And he walks up and he says, Jesus. All right, well, he can do wind. He says wind. And she looks over at the guy. He's wearing like a metal breastplate, which is a bit odd because you're on a ship and that would sink. And he's got like a big sword, not typical. And she looks over and says, Templar, he can do some wind. Do you hear that? He can do wind, and you can't. Ha ha. And he goes, okay. And it's just a bald guy, pretty bald, human, not human, excuse me, half-elf, slightly pointed ears, kind of grayish eyebrows, looks a bit older, start of some wrinkles on the forehead, and he looks a little grizzled, not like haggard or like badly worn out, but he's seen some days. And the captain, she walks over to you and she's, wind, what are you talking about? What wind? Can you make a lot of wind? I like wind.
I can certainly try to see how much I could push this along, big ship along. I've helped smaller ships along. I'm not sure how well it'll work.
Slacken braces! She calls out really fucking loud, cutting you off as like the crew scatters and like they start like tightening up lines and stuff. And she leans in and says, "All right, darling. Let's see what you can do. Do your thing."
So then go ahead and roll for spell.
Yes. So roll your cast a spell. And what specific spell would this be that you're doing, actually? I don't think we actually discussed that particular thing. There's a few that would work, I think, technically.
Well, I figure Wall of Wind would be the better one to get a big enough distance to cover the sail to push it forward.
Okay.
And I got a 12.
12. All right. So you get a pretty decent gust of wind going that you all suddenly feel the breeze pick up, and then you feel the ship kind of lurch a little bit. And you see the sails all billow full, more than like what you're like, even catching a direct breeze. It seems they're full, really filled sails. And she looks up and she says, "Get the royals up, the topsails and gallants. Let's get her moving. We've got a good wind on now. Let's get her all the way there fast. All right, this is gonna be quick, boys. Are you ready?" And she goes, "All right, keep doing that. Whatever it is, as long as you can do it. Don't kill yourself. That's useless. Stand over there, I guess. Stand by the doctor." And you see the Dr. Takmadan that was under deck. He's actually like leaned up on the side, and he's just flask, just takes a drink. Just kind of stands there. He's kind of grizzled. This guy's definitely seen some hard days. He's not necessarily old, but he's seen some shit. Really seen some shit. And where'd they go? So he's got like shorter hair. And he's got some darker, like caramel colored skin. A little bit of like the kind of like Persian sort of look with like the dark eyeliner under the eyes, and he a little bit Persian, a little bit of the Egyptian sort of touch, just kind of leaned against the side of the ship. He says, "Oh, hi. What's your name?"
Revian. How about you?
Call me Farith, Dr. Takmadan, whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit. Just don't die or get injured. That's really your only
Interesting
job
fellow.
here. The rest of you just working on getting everything tightened up. Keeping
Ask the
ship.
captain if I could bless the ship, and then I would like to work on like the munitions and whatnot.
So, all right. Bless the ship. Go ahead, dude. Do it. Just like puts her hands together. I don't know. Cover my heart, I guess. I don't know. What do I do?
You have to do nothing. I just pull out my talisman and I just kind of start walking around and I just kind of start saying a little prayer to myself around the ship, asking for obviously for continued good winds and safe passage and things like that.
Yeah. Okay. And she kind of watches you and she's interesting. What's your god? Anything I know?
Phalos,
I don't know that one.
god of the lost and forgotten.
Go under deck, you'll find Groish. She's green. She's hard to miss. She's the master gunner. She'll help you put your spots to do gun things. And you and your little group, if you see them, just let them know. I want to see them. I don't know. About an hour. We'll say an hour. Gather them up, and tell Groish I said for you to do this, to go around the ship and gather them up, and we'll all have a little chat. Go away.
I'm probably close enough that I hear her tell him that. But she told me to just stand over here.
All right. Anybody else just working on lines, doing typical shit, jugs carrying stuff?
I want to try to see if is there a job on board that involves getting things around the ship quickly.
Yeah. Typically, when things need to be brought up from the cargo hold and stuff like that from the lower decks, they have a set of guys get on the capstan, which the capstan is used for multiple things. They use it to lift things up from the lower decks as well. There's actually a system of pulleys and lines that they use to pull things up and down from underneath, because realistically you wouldn't be able to lift shit like that. That'd be ridiculous. But yeah,
realistically, but
whenever need be, they call you over and they have you help pull the stuff up from under decks. Anybody else? Anything specific? Oh, you're still going? Okay.
Lex just kind of hangs around and plays his loot.
He's the entertainment of the ship.
The Lemig actually passes, giving you the look of he's about to say get to work, and he goes, "Are you a shanty man? You know shanties? We haven't had a shanty man in a while."
Why do you ask?
What?
Yeah, I was about to say he broke up
You're
hard.
just roboting a little bit.
Yeah, that would be my phone here. All right, give me a sec.
You're good now.
Yep.
Okay. Perhaps I do. Maybe.
All right. I guess next time they start hauling on a line, and you hear the captain call out and says, "Pull that fucking line up! Slacken the braces on that one. Bring in the foremast like it's supposed to be. We need to get some tacking done." It's calling out just fucking random shit that you're starting to catch on maybe what she means. It's just Scottish gibberish. It's what the fuck? It's okay. I think I know what she's saying now. And they start hauling on a line. He says, "That would be what I was talking about. Yeah, go sing. It helps them keep in time." They also like it. They sing now, but they don't have anybody to lead them, so they just kind of get lost halfway through every song they sing. It's pretty sad. Get on that, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna go keep doing what I was doing, which was absolutely nothing and not your job. And then he walks away.
What have I gotten myself into?
I'll say, you guys, you're catching on that this is not like a military vessel. This is merchant ship, or they just do jobs of some kind. Some kind of ship for hire in one way or another. They're not really... there's the line of command, but they're not going to tar and feather you for not working. They're just get to work. What are you doing? So that hour passes, and Manus comes around and gathers you all up to go and see the captain. And she just has you bring them up to the helm. Now, you all have realized, because it didn't hit you till just now, because she had you straight to work. When you come up, she actually is the one holding the helm. She's actually helming the ship. And she looks over at let me take this for a minute. I'm gonna talk to them. All right, who are you, fine folks? What are you doing here? Kind of looks around at each one of you, kind of giving a slow inspection of the group.
To be fair, I'm honestly not sure why I'm here.
I see.
I just.
I was asked to come here, and so I am.
I'm trying to get out of here.
Gonna get out of here, aren't all of us?
Yeah.
I am here to protect this voyage.
Good enough. I like your answer. You've done a good job so far. Well done, priest boy, whatever, something.
Manus.
Small man. What are you? What the?
Well, I was mostly just looking for adventure, and
There may be
this
plenty of
opportunity
that.
came up. Yeah, here I am, and I saw how little these guys were carrying. Like, who can't carry 2 crates of supplies?
2 crates. Oh my. Okay.
I want to ask if I could try something.
What's that?
How strong is the captain's mind?
What move are you referring to specifically? And I will assist you.
If I can, I don't know, maybe try to like get 1 or 2 because like I'm not character's not evil, but he's just like mischievous and chaotic. So sometimes I'll try to read people's minds just for the fun of it. Seeing maybe if I can get like a thought or 2 out of him.
Okay. Let's see.
But it really does depend on like the mentality of somebody because some people are mentally stronger than others. So some people, normal people, even can develop like resistance to it if they're strong enough.
So this would be the Heart's Sorrow. So roll your d20 and add your wisdom.
Okay.
My character looks so lonely on deck.
Yeah, you guys can add yourselves to the map. You don't have to like.
Here, hold on. I meant to. Sorry.
Yeah, I haven't yet because mobile is weird for me.
Also,
Oh yeah,
I'll probably get everything done when
I'll point out while
I get back to PC.
while we're talking, and I haven't brought it up yet. You did notice that Terragus did board the ship, but you didn't see where he went. He just sort of disappeared.
Okay, that is a 14 plus 3, so that's a 17.
And the gear.
There we go. I'll zoom in. I'll actually use this now. Yeah. Why the fuck is it? Oh, that's right. So to use owlbear, don't forget it's so if you want to grab something, you have to be on the hand, and if you want to like do something else, the laser pointer is right click. There's that. And
I'm red.
the
Everybody's
Dragonborn. The Dragonborn is actually
Alright.
up here as well, leaning up against the railing over there. There we go.
How do
Okay.
you change the color of the laser pointer?
I don't know if you can. Can you? You can.
You can.
You click on it and then you
Here,
go up to
I'm
the
good.
top. And there's a color option.
What colors everybody want? That way we're separate colors.
I want white.
I have a purple.
There is
as
not a
mine.
white.
I want black.
Blue.
There's not a black.
Is there gray?
There is like a
There's
bright blue, a light blue, or teal, or purple, a green,
Or red?
Red. Yeah, there's a red, and there's an orange and a yellow.
I'll take red.
I
Light
guess I'll
blue.
take orange.
Take the teal.
I'm purple. Also, this little metal helmet here, this is Voithos. I figured I'd put him in so we can keep
That's
track
fine,
of him
that's
as
fine.
well.
I'll do yellow for me. Okay, so the fuck did I just say? I forgot. Oh, you were asking me about a move. So what did you roll for your Heart Sorrow?
I rolled a 15, and that's plus 3, so that's
18.
16. Yes, 18.
There you go. Okay. So on the Heart Sorrow move, you have the option to pick from, let's see, on a full success, choose 2. The secret is presented with great context. The secret is something you could possibly know otherwise, however unlikely that might be. Secret is something you could possibly know otherwise. What? That's a weird wording. The secret can easily be used to gain leverage for parlay, is the third option. So on your sheet, where it's in your starting moves, by the way, it's called the Heart Sorrow.
Let's see, I'm sorry, I have like so many tabs open at once.
Oh, you're
right
fine.
now.
Me too. I have like around 12 open right now.
Which where's this sound again?
This is in your starting moves on your sheet, your character sheet.
The ones you earlier, the ones you like had highlighted, right?
This would have been just... This is part of the ones that you start with versus the ones that you pick.
Wait, that's not the advanced moves?
No, this is one of your starting moves.
Okay, let's see, where is that?
Getting back on my shoulder, are you?
I gotta find that
I was
again.
hoping you saw that.
It'll be
Is
on
it-
the first page of your sheet.
That's the PDF I sent.
Oh,
you,
yeah,
right?
That
yeah.
actually
it's
worked
the PDF.
perfectly.
If you download it, you can actually, like, when you go to your files, you can actually double-click it and it'll open it in a tab from there.
Okay.
So that you don't have to, like, seek it out in the message. Yeah, it's called Heart Sorrow.
Yeah, I've only got
Sarah,
3
when you
tabs
look into
open.
Someone's heart in search of a secret. Roll wisdom. Choose 2. Choose 1. The secret is presented with greater context. Something you could possibly. Wait, what?
What?
What does it mean by that?
I don't know. The secret is something maybe it's something you couldn't possibly know otherwise, however unlikely that might be. I think it's supposed to be couldn't possibly know. I think it's a typo.
Like
I noticed that the
something
last
like
time
that.
I've looked at this sheet.
I guess that means that's something like they would have to outright tell me for me
Yeah.
to know, right? Okay, then I guess I will.
So you
go
have the
for
option to
that then.
choose 2 of those on that move. So choose 2 of those options there. Tell me one at
2
a time, and then
options.
I'll see what we come up with. What do you think?
What does parlay mean?
Parlay is like a persuasion check.
Okay, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just trying to figure out how to do like. We're just doing this for the fun of it because it amuses me. Not trying to like
So
blackmail.
do you want to
people,
go with the
so let
top
me
2
see.
then? Just the
Yeah.
so a secret and good context around it.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of a moment where in the center of your mind you now see someone's hand holding a kind of a lump of a crystal that's kind of tall that comes up white. You can't see through it, but it seems to be emitting its own source of light from within, not coming out of it, but it's illuminated within. White crystal. And then the image kind of backs up and you see Phoebe holding the crystal and she's looking around. She seems to be speaking, giving warning, saying we have to be careful. You know, there's all these different things, telling some group of people around her, it seems to be. And then it zips back and it seems to be maybe the captain's perspective of listening to Phoebe give some kind of warning about whatever it is that she's holding in her hand. And it seems that this context that you're kind of waiting for is like, oh, maybe that's what we're here for. Maybe that's the job. Maybe that's what we're taking one place to another. And she looks around at you all and she says, all right, well, now that I have an idea what you're about, she takes the glasses off and puts them in the coat pocket. And she looks around and she says, James, where the fuck are you? James comes up, slowly kind of comes up and says, hello, Captain. What? I was looking at the maps and stop looking at maps all the time. Come take my fucking coat and put it in my quarters. And begins to take the coat off, takes the bandana thing off, takes off the mask on her face, and revealed before you. Where did it go?
Or you could just zoom in on your little icon you put on the boat.
So before you stands, well, before I tell you exactly what stands before you, everyone roll and add your wisdom modifier. I think Kyle remembers this.
Wait, what die are we rolling?
I think
Yeah.
What die are we rolling?
I think I remember.
I got a 21,
D20,
sir.
Just roll your D20 and add your wisdom modifier.
I got a 22.
22?
Yeah,
What
I
was
got 21.
What's my wisdom modifier again? Yes.
your wisdom
17.
modifier for yours
17.
is +4.
Dear God, I
You
got
got
an
an-
11. Okay.
I got an 8.
Okay.
I got a 7, but I'm glad I have my modifier because I have an 11.
Okay, so who all rolled below 10?
Me.
Jug? Anybody else?
Just Jug.
Why? I rolled
Are
it
you
so
still
much,
on my shoulder? Or are you about to walk off my shoulder?
I'm on the ground. Like I don't know, next year I was probably about to go talk to you or something. I was probably just listening to her.
Jug, she's speaking and like taking off this stuff that covers her, and she takes the sword and she actually runs it through something and puts like the scabbard of the katana on. She's actually got like another blade, shorter blade off to the side as well. Seems like a smaller version of the katana that she wears. And they kind of look like swords from your homeland a little bit. It's weapons that people might carry around. Okay, interesting. You probably don't hear anything of what happens for the next few minutes because it's just, whoa, she's pretty.
Yeah, just see the sword. Oh, let's see her. Oh.
So who all rolled under a 16?
I got 17. It's like one.
I got 11.
You got 11. So Lex, you feel a little bit of that compelling feeling, kind of like Jug does, but not quite as bad. You resist it, but it's kind of like not fully resisted. You feel like, oh, hi. This is going to be a hard conversation to listen to. Okay.
Time to be charismatic.
The others of you feel something come over and you go, oh, that's odd. Something there. It's kind of hard to figure out exactly what she is.
Find something.
So, it's hard to put a finger on what exactly it is that you're looking at. But she is very beautiful. And it's hard to take in with the red lines all over her skin that run down that look like tattoos. Hard to tell. Maybe markings. And her eyes are red as blood, as well as she has horns that run out of her head, as you can see, with some very tall boots that she wears and a tail that swings around to your surprise. And she looks at you and says, all right, so any of your brains broken yet? I see that one's drooling on himself.
Eyes wide, eyes are just like, my pupils are dilated.
Can I reach over and flick him in the forehead?
I take the hit. I take the hit, Jackson.
Wake up.
I just
something happened, but it's like that might have been an hour ago. You felt something flick you. I don't know. You have more important things to look at.
I just look at her like no expression and respond to her comment, just like, yeah, just not in the way you'd expect.
You'd be surprised, and now you see why I wore all that shit. The boys here are used to it. It doesn't bother them anymore. They're kind of resistant. Nice to be around a group that doesn't, I don't know, piss themselves every time they see me. Alright. This ship is called the Infernal Wind. You lot seem like the adventuring type. Special abilities and cool weapons and all those sorts of things. Very cool. Alright, well, let's go down into my quarters and we're going to talk with Phoebe. We're going to give you an idea of what we've got going on. The rest of the crew knows. They were briefed, but you lot weren't. So, come on down with me. She takes you down. You guys go into the captain's quarters. And Phoebe's actually sitting down, reading a book at a table off in the side. And she's, oh, hello, everybody. Good day. Are we talking? I don't... And she's, yes, we're having a quick chat, with these gentlemen. So, this ship is the Infernal Wind, as you can see. Well, Phoebe, if you want to tell them, she kind of goes, and she pulls her pack off of her back and she sets it down. She begins digging. She pulls out this, like, metal, brass-looking box and says, this is, important. It's like really important that this doesn't get in the wrong hands. So, and she like does some stuff kind of like back turned to you, so you can't really see exactly what she does. And the box begins to open, and she kind of flips it open. She pulls out Jack that white crystal, and she holds it out and she says, "So this is the well, their way of putting the Witch King's crystal. It holds his soul, and we have to take it to the Prismatic Society. Any questions?"
Yeah, why the hell do you have that?
Because we can't.
And also, why do they want with it?
We can't teleport it. It's likely that we'd end up on a couple continents over, and not where we want to be. And not in one piece at all. So we have it here, and we're going to deliver it ourselves on the ship, which seems to be going swimmingly. I feel the ship's going pretty fast earlier. Keep that up. I like that. It makes me way less worried. So, for those of you that don't know, the Witch King was pretty bad. He was defeated a few months ago, finally, by a group of adventurers like yourselves, and put in his place finally. And after they killed him, he got up again and again and again, and he wouldn't fucking die. So they pulled his soul out and put it in this. She kind of holds it up. Jack, staring at this crystal for a moment, you begin to hear whispers. Nothing coherent, just...
And then okay, so at this point, I want to say that the others kind of start to notice that it's kind of affecting me a little bit. Like, I'm not completely out of it, but I'm kind of just staring at it, like my mouth's kind of open a little bit, very slightly. Like, oh.
Yeah, it's not like pulling you in, it's not hurting you, it's just like strange. That's weird. And,
What?
roboting.
Nah.
There you go. You're good.
Yeah, why does that not surprise me?
You're good.
Lex looks at him, he's like, "You're not one of those people who are attracted to rocks, are you?"
I look at him
because that'd be weird.
And I'm like, no, but I knew somebody who was. He's no longer with us because of a boulder.
That makes sense.
The boulder actually fell on top of him, but it's what he would have wanted. Poor Carl.
And now it's worse. Stop talking.
Okay, so I'm just remembering. It's been a while, so bear with me. So Manus, mark 1 XP, because I forgot about that earlier. Jug, mark an XP, and then mark another XP. Because you've already failed twice. The rest of you have succeeded thus far.
This is going to be that game where Colton just gets all the EXP because he keeps screwing up rolls.
Until it comes to a strike check, then I'll never fail.
That would depend on how many wisdom checks and charisma checks we've got.
I have good stats, we just haven't fucking used any of them.
We'll see.
Put me in my place. I've heard none of this conversation. I was just you're just been standing there looking at the captain for the entire time.
I picked him up and carried him with us.
I'm like
a Looney Tunes, like jaw on the ground, tongue out.
I've just got him by the scruff and I'm carrying him with us to get where we're going because he wouldn't stand on my shoulder.
All right, so
I just slumped off.
It just puts him in your pocket.
And about the time that you guys are kind of exchanging and speaking back and forth, the door opens and a tiny figure walks in. Only maybe about an inch taller than you, Jug. Not very tall at all.
wanna ask something real quick.
What's that?
Okay, so if that crystal has like, does it have any sort of sentience to it?
It was whispering, man. What do you think?
Okay, but that means that I'm guessing specifically since I was affected by it, that must have means that like it knew that I knew about it ahead of time or something.
Yes, so you did the Heart Sorrow, so you knew that the crystal was somehow important to this voyage, whether it be on the ship and what you're taking, or somehow related directly one way or another. You knew that the crystal was going to come into play sometime, and seeing it this quickly, it was like, oh, okay, so it is on board. If you want to try to Heart Sorrow on it, you can. I think that would be probably what you would try and use here.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what that's gonna do, but I'm gonna try it anyway. So.
Gonna get crushed by a boulder.
I see Carl. I'll ask him what was going through his head after I smacked him on the side of the head.
Can I cast Bless before he does that to give him a +1 to cast a spell?
Yeah, roll your cast a spell really quick. D20. I think your modifier is Wisdom, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I prepare to detain him should anything happen. By the way.
Do we know he's even doing this? Is my question.
No, you guys are going to be extremely freaked out at first, but then once you see it, you're going to be even more confused.
I'll say you do notice Phoebe, like, kind of it starts to look at you, Jack, and which I guess you probably wouldn't notice, but you guys notice that she's actually kind of centered on Jack a little bit, and she actually holds the crystal out. She says, kind of gives a look, holding it out again, like expectantly for you to do something, like you seem to be mesmerized by it in some way. So how was the cast spell? Did you?
It was a 13.
13. So.
And if you want, we can just say I was blessing the room because I immediately saw this and I was like, oh, that's evil, and I just started like doing my thing.
And this isn't combat, so I'll just say that like everybody kind of notices you do like cast a spell and go, huh. Captain just kind of crosses her arms, and so rather than roll and do direct things from the move, because this isn't a person directly and this isn't like gazing into their heart, looking at this crystal, Jack, roll your d20 and add your wisdom, and then add +1.
See how this goes. Uh-oh. Well, okay. 13, 14, 15, 16.
Okay. Full success.
Oh, great.
So, you are not ready for... you kind of flash, and your eyes, before you, everything turns kind of black for a moment. And then you seem to like kind of come up out of like a lifting shot in a movie, just kind of vertically lift up over some sort of cliff or something like that. And before you see a tower stretching just like the rest of the city, but even more so, just stretching all the way into the sky. Two big forked points off of it, and a big red spot at the top. Seems some sort of glow or fire, burning furnace or something up at the top. And you look around, and you're surrounded by mountains of obsidian, and you see roving groups of armored people in dark armor and patchwork, and you see different types of people. You see some dragonborns, you see some humans, you see some orcs, goblins, all of these different things all around you, marching in armies. And looking around, you, in this vision, it almost feels like you feel a breeze kind of brush over your cheek as you look, which is because that's not normal. You don't usually feel stuff like that. That's weird. You feel something almost, and you look up and you see massive black wings come swooping in, circles the tower, and then giving it context of size, it flies up to the top and lands up at the top, a bit shorter than the two forks, but has enough room to stand. Just a giant, huge black dragon lands at the top of the tower in the vision. And then you hear a cry go out of just pure anger and hatred. Just... And then you see a flash at the base of the tower go out into the mountains, the big forked claw-like mountains all around it. And some kind of energy beam flash of magic just spreads out into the distance. And then it just kind of fades out. And she kind of looks and she says, "So, what did you see?"
So I want to say that what happens next is that, like, after that, I kind of just will not throw it, but it kind of falls out of my hand, and then just fall onto like one knee, and then I just put my hand over my head because like I like the worst headache, because that was evil.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh yeah,
it just like that just like, cause all that negative energy just gave me like the most splitting headache ever, because I've never had to deal with that type of energy before.
Yeah, you've never been in a place like that. Skies black. Tower burning up at the top, stretching farther into the sky than you could comprehend.
Because
surrounded just like black claw mountains.
I want to say that normally it's because of me doing stuff like this was just like reading an individual's mind, but this was something like on a whole nother level, so I could do it, but never actually done it before. So I just look at the others, like, I don't know what I saw, but that was evil right there.
Yeah, the feeling that you got at the tail end of that, with that scream and that cry, you felt directly tethered to it. It was just rage. Absolute fucking hatred. And at someone, and you don't even know who.
The crystal's just there on the ground, and it's got like a small little trail of energy that's still leaving it, as you can see, like the purple that's just disappearing.
She reaches down, she picks it up, and says, "Put this back in the box." Sets it down, closing it up now. No more touchy. It was cool and weird. And she looks over at the door and she says, "Ah!" And walking through the door, you see a tiny little figure come wandering in. He says, "Hi guys, Captain." She goes, "Oh, hey, do the thing, say your name, all that type of shit." And he goes, "I'm Regihallan Galvadorison. Hi. Captain, that brew you wanted I need some components." She goes, "Reggie, we already left the city. What are you talking about? What? Just go back down and work on something else." He goes, "I see. Where are we going next?" She goes, "Birdfast, you'll probably find some stuff there. Just go off ship once we get there." And she goes, "I don't like to do that. You know, he might be there. I don't know. He might be looking, or I might find him, and I don't want to." "Reggie, you're not going to find him there. You're going to be fine. Just go off ship with these fine lads. Go see what you find." And he just kind of looks around at you guys, and he goes, "Will you guys protect me if I go off the ship?" And he's like just slightly taller than Jug, whom of which is still like just locked onto the captain.
I have no idea what's happened.
Yeah. So pretty much he's speaking to the rest of you that aren't mesmerized. He says, do you guys do that? Can you fight? I don't know. Have you ever fought a wizard before?
I shall protect the traveler.
I'd be fine with it.
Okay.
Sure.
Right,
Good way to stretch the legs when we reach land again.
do you
Guys, yeah, sure.
You guys like potions? He's so this figure, you're kind of like looking at him and it's like trying to see what you can get out of him, but you can't get much because he's wearing a mask over his face, which is a little weird. He's wearing Plague Doctor mask. That's odd. And he's wearing a hood and he's got a trench coat. He's really small. And he's got potions and stuff on his belts and over his shoulder, and he's got like this and that all over the place. And you see like a little, like, looks like a little journal sort of book thing on his hip, and he's just like, there's some components I need for some stuff I need to work on. For the captain, it's like a personal project that she asked for. Yeah. Anyways, thank you. I'll be down in the lab, I guess. Hi. And then he just kind of leaves. Like, kind of scurries
Actually,
away
before
like a
he leaves, I
toddler.
wanted to ask him something.
He stops and turns and says, What?
Those components you need, none of them wouldn't happen to be stones, would they?
No, it's like herbs and, maybe a power stone or something.
Interesting. Well, thanks. Good luck.
He looks at you for a second. Pulls like a little piece of, something like a tape measure thing, not like the actual tape measure, but like a little roll of measuring tape. He walks over and he looks at you and measures your, like, bottom half of your leg, like your calf. Puts it away and he goes, okay, bye. And then he runs away. Kind of like scurries out of the room really quickly.
Needless to say, I still don't regret asking that question.
Damn, I wish I could interact with all of this character.
The captain, she's sitting at her desk now with her feet propped up and she says, where's the Templar? Or whatever, we'll talk to him later. So, yeah, so protect the ship. We might run into some stuff that might get shitty. Hopefully, the idea is to get there without any trouble. Is anybody interested in where the ship came from? I'm not gonna, like, just tell you. I don't know. If not, get back to work, fuck off.
Lex is like, okay, leaves.
I would like to inquire about adding, like, blessing and, like, watching over the crystal to, like, my duties on the ship, being a cleric, like, keeping it blessed, making sure, like, no bad energy or dark magic spreads throughout the ship.
You're worried about the crystal? Okay. I guess, yeah, we can add you to the watch for it. Just, keep an eye from... kind of thinks, looking up in the air a little bit. Be in the bow area most of the time and keep an eye out. Just, don't, try to enter or anything. Just keep an eye. If anybody walks in that you mysteriously, let somebody know, probably.
Aye.
I want to say real quick that, like, I turn to him and then I say, if you're gonna watch over that thing, you need to be careful because I've done stuff like this before and I came out with that. Imagine what it'll do to somebody who isn't like me.
I appreciate the concern, my friend.
And she says,
I have many eyes watching over me.
last thing, most importantly, follow me. She walks you out just outside the door of her quarters, and she just points up. And she looks at you, Manus, and she says, you're not the only one watching. And she points up, and you look up in the crow's nest, and you see Terragus leaned over the railing, just looking down, watching. Not moving, not speaking, just watching. Bit unsettling. It's kind of like when a buzzard lands on a tree above you and just stares at you, and just like, ooh.
I look up at Terragus and I just kind of like nod in acknowledgement of seeing him up there.
He just kind of...
I register where he's hiding up there, and I before I walk off, I ask her if it's okay if I speak to the alchemist to see if he might have any mana potions, because that would help me keep the ship going longer.
Mana potions? Oh, that's not very common. It doesn't come around very often. Alright, yeah, head down there and ask him about it. He's probably down there working. It's most of the time where he stays. A bit small for doing anything else on the ship. Yeah, good. Just go have a chat. Enjoy. We're underway here, so it's not super important that everybody stays up on deck. Just if you hear the bell and all hands, be up here. Chop, chop. You know the drill? I mean, you are sailors, I can see it in your eyes. Anyways, I'm gonna go back up here and steer the ship. I don't like leaving it alone for too long with somebody else, even if it's Lemig. Especially
has Jug come out of it yet?
Jug, you are starting to like, you're getting a little blinky of like, what was that?
Starting to have a sugar crash.
Why am I so tired?
And she's like, well, I get back to work or go sing a song. I don't know. Just be on standby like the rest of the crew. Don't go too far. And she starts to walk up the stairs and she goes up to the helm. And she kind of takes it up. And now you kind of see like this heavy amount of like proudness to steer the ship. Like the uncommonness amongst a superstitious group of people known as sailors that find women to be bad luck on a ship is a captain, and she's made her own way here in the Sarabi. What about the wind help? We're probably about 2 days out from the tower. Just get yourselves ready for a bit of a voyage. It's gonna be imminent. Bit of water between here and Birdfast. So you might find something to entertain yourself. There's not a whole lot to look out for here till you see the tower.
I'd probably talk to Jug, see if he wants to follow down with me so I can explain what just happened.
Yeah, I was about to say.
No idea what's going on.
What is happening? I'm so lost.
So
1 minute we were talking with the captain, and next thing I know we're
coming
in
out
a
of a
completely
room.
different spot. How long? Oh, my eyes are so dry.
So, so those of you going to see Reggie, you go down, and those of you going back to work, you're back to work. Do you want to have any specific conversation with Reggie, or do you just want to like?
I'd probably just ask him about the potions.
Yeah. Well, I can brew something up. It should be pretty easy, I think. Maybe we'll see. Kind of looks around at his components and the tables and stuff. Yeah, I think I can do that. It might take me a couple days because if you want multiple, but I can mix them up. Yeah. Okay, I'll get to work. And he starts, fires up some of the different alchemical machines and different things that he uses to brew his brewing things.
I say thank you and just let me know when they're ready.
So, getting underway and kind of lean into the end of the session here. We went a little longer, but that's because, we were introducing everything. Details. Okay. Who would like to roll for the weather?
Lee, I was just about to ask about that because I have something that I could do.
What's that?
Let me see. I will type it to you because I still want to keep certain things a secret, my friend.
I was gonna ask, does this ship have a library?
Asking around, no library. A few books that Reggie has, but nothing probably nothing interesting to you. Mostly like herbs and components.
I'll share.
He's got books.
Let's see. Hold on a sec.
I wanted to get us into combat, but we had some minor delays, so that's all right.
Man, I can't wait till people try to board this.
No, yeah.
It's gonna happen eventually. It's inevitable.
Pretty much is.
Poor unfortunate souls.
That or we board them to take them out.
We're not stuck on this ship with you. You're stuck on here with us.
Okay, Sharp.
Yeah.
Lex, roll your d20 plus wisdom.
So my wisdom was plus what, 4?
Yes, plus 4.
Jesus Christ.
How bad you do?
2 plus 4? Yeah, that's 6.
Shit.
Oh
shit.
no.
Rough sailings ahead from here, boys.
Yeah, it's someone else.
Jeez. Oh, trust me.
Look,
Really rough sailing here.
if you rolled anything lower, we would have gotten attacked by a sea monster.
My help was useless with the wind.
That might not be a problem.
We
Got
slowed
us
that
into
down.
further of a shitstorm. That's what you did.
Alright, so give it to me straight. How does this go?
All right, hold on. I'm working on it. Hang on.
He's trying to figure it out. Oh.
Okay, so none of those apply because you haven't done any of those things. This is just a straight roll. And,
Yeah. So I think that means I can only choose one then because I got below 7?
No, you failed. If you fail,
no, I
you
completely fail.
Oh yeah, you fail. If you fail, you failed.
A failure is a 1 to 9, so you completely failed.
Yeah, if you fail, you fail.
No, I'm gone.
So,
I'm just reading my sheet here because it's like saying on a 7, 9, 10 plus, blah blah blah.
Yes, it leaves the failure off because it just fail is fail.
Yeah.
So you reach out to the spirits around you and that's the sound. Nothing. You're just gonna like wait, and just like wait, and you get nothing.
Oh, I wonder if that was that thing I did the other day. Nah, never mind.
Would my thing help any?
In what such sense?
My characteristic.
Possible.
I would also like to ask, could I invent a device to help us with weather in case we do come into inclement weather?
With the right stuff, maybe. It might require... You would know, however, that might require some relatively expensive components. Not the actual build, but to the things to give it the right energies to run through it. A sort of device, yeah. An atmospheric stabilizer and destabilizer might be possible with the right power source. But that will be the difficult part, is the power source.
Okay, so there's nothing I could use on the ship or on hand that I could use to power that?
If you stop somewhere in a large city of some kind you think might have something like that, you could probably find something to use, yeah. But not on
I'll
the
keep
ship.
an eye out.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, Kyle, yes, your thing just happens. So, you reach out to the spirit of the wind, and what do you ask?
For smooth sailing and clear skies. Or at least clear skies.
You feel a comforting breeze cross cheeks, and you feel comforted that it should go pretty well. Who wants to roll to find out the weather now?
I'll do it.
Who's brave? You want to do it? Okay.
I was gonna say I would do it, but I don't know with my luck currently.
I'm not gonna do it. I have 2 XP.
You want to?
You did something to anger higher powers. I don't know what, but
I've got great experience.
If you
I can't do it.
A percentile. If you have a percentile die, roll that and tell me what you roll.
Percentile.
It's a D10, but it says 2 numbers instead of the single numbers.
Oh, I have one.
I have a many.
Oh damn! I rolled one just for the hell of it, just to see what would happen.
I kind of want to roll one for the hell of it.
You know, yeah. Somebody else, if they want to do it, go ahead.
I got 80.
Who wants to be the official roll? I'll say that.
I dropped the dice.
Wait, what kind of roll is this?
We're determining the weather.
With what? Die?
Yes. This is like day-to-day travel, trying to determine what the weather's like.
I don't know if I have a percentile die because I'm using digital dice roller.
So
who's rolling? Are you Colton, are you rolling or?
Want me to? I have a dice also, but Kyle got an 80 over there.
Okay.
And then I rolled a D10 and along with a regular D10 and I got a 3, so 83.
83. You see few clouds, uneventful. Second day. Does somebody else want to roll?
I'll try it. I think. Do I have the right die? Let me see.
If you've got access to the owlbear thing, you can just click the 100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I have a D100 here. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So should I just roll it then?
Yeah, roll your D100. See what you get.
98. All right.
Clear skies, good wind. So sooner rather than later, the captain actually just, oh, well, we've spotted something. You hear the crow's nest call down. Tower! Calls out from the crow's nest and, all right, everybody get ready to haul in sails and we'll stop off here and get a eye on her. Anybody want to go look at the tower? Gonna stop off for a minute and see if there might be anything waiting for us in there. Ooh.
Lex is already standing there looking at it.
And you guys can actually kind of see it if you look out from the deck of the ship. You can see a little thin spire beginning to form in the distance, slowly growing on the horizon. And you get closer and closer, and you begin to see detail come in. This dark gray stone tower begins to appear, and it looks old, very, very old. It's the top. It kind of thins out as it comes to the top, but it doesn't thin into a point, but it comes thinner as it gets up to the top. And all throughout it, you see slots, big rectangular shaped slots cut out, assumingly to grab so the wind doesn't grab the tower because it's pretty tall. Like it's surprisingly tall. And up at the top, it's instead of windows or anything like that, it's got sort of a roof set on little pillars that go all the way around in sort of a lighthouse sort of fashion with these wide windows, nothing in them, and a little building attached to it as you get close as well that goes off to the right from where you guys are looking at it, and off to the right of the tower. Very, very old looking. Does anyone...
So this is not where Reggie needed to go ashore.
No. This is just the tower. This is sort of a halfway point sort of thing. If anybody would like to roll a spout lore, you may, if you want to try and see what this is.
To be fair, I would probably know about it.
Yes, you would probably know passing mention. Manus, you also might know passing mention. As for Jug and Revian, I don't believe you've ever seen it. And Jack, you might have heard of it. I don't know. You can roll if you want, but I doubt you've heard of it.
Yeah.
Wait, what do I roll? What die?
Rolling spout lore. So your D20 plus your intelligence.
All right, I'll roll.
Oh, well, that's great.
I couldn't help but laugh at the little possum symbol way off the map on the right.
So my intelligence is plus what? Yeah, again, I don't have the stuff written down because I just had to do it.
+2.
13.
I got 11.
11.
There's a trash can you can drag that to.
I was like, where is it?
Okay, so who all got a 10 to 15?
I did.
Okay, you got
I did.
Okay, so that's the two of you. So looking at this, it's very old, and you gather that this is not from something recent. This isn't from the Sarabi Empire or anything like that. It's much older. This is a relic. Did anybody roll 16 plus?
Nope.
Nobody 16 plus? Were there failures? Did failures happen? Anybody else? Okay, so yeah, you gathered this tower is very old. And you come in around the side of it, and the ship pulls up alongside it. And there's actually a little dock that comes out from the front of it, also made of that same stone. And forgot to have you guys determine what languages you speak, because I just done goofed again. That's okay. We'll do that. We'll do that from here to next session. So, looking at this, it's old. There might be something in there, but this is like an heirloom relic thing from generations on generations ago. This was not recent. What would you guys like to do? We're gonna close out here. Kind of, what are are you guys all going ashore to this little jetty thing to go into this building?
Why not?
Something to explore.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
I ready my things and I meet up with everybody else.
Okay. Phoebe actually comes out on the deck and she's like, "Oh, I'd like to go in. That seems cool. I've never seen a place like this. What do I need anything? Probably a weapon, I guess. Oh yeah, okay. Let's go. Yeah."
Did Reggie finish any potions?
I'll say Reggie finishes 1 mana potion for you. And then upon retrieving it, he says, I'm running low on components. I could probably make 1 more, but I need to get some more components. They're a little bit expensive because they're a little bit expensive. I need some stuff. I might be able to get some money to buy some items. I'm sorry. Don't have enough stuff. I'll try. Anyways, have fun in the thing. It's a Silverblade Empire. It's really old. And he goes, have fun. He goes back down under the deck. Any of you that caught that Silverblade Empire thing, that's interesting.
Interesting, but
that's from a long fucking time ago. You know the name, and you know it was a long time ago. That's about it. Like, farther than memory. Fucking ancient tower. Walking out, Phoebe actually looks around and says, "This is actually the last remnant of the Silverblade Empire." I don't remember how long ago that was. I've only read passing mention of it. It's like 1,000 years ago, something like that. I don't know. It's very old, very old. Probably nothing in there, but it would be fun to look out from the top of the tower. Who's with me?
I'm with you.
All right.
Lex just raises his hand.
And that is where we will close for tonight. And we'll move into next session and hopefully beat something up. Or multiple things.